Now, if you're looking for tips on how to fully enjoy the country's culture and lifestyle, well, most likely you've come across this website, an online magazine called When in Manila, where you can see stories and about Manila, the Philippines, and far, far beyond. One of the creative minds behind When in Manila is the Chief Operating Officer, Gavin, and she is with us right now in the studio. Good morning to you, Gavin.
Good morning.
I mean, nice to have you with us. I mean, you are such an accomplished woman, Sky. I mean, parang lahat na ginawa mo. You have entered what in the media industry. You have been what in marketing. You have been in sales, PR, event management. Parang lahat
everything. I try.
Lahat na ginawa mo. I mean, it just goes to show that you really have a passion for these things. How did all of that lead you to where you are now, and what exactly is the role that you're playing when in Manila?
I think I was always influenced by women in the media. I grew up with my dad doing PR for government office, and then I was always exposed to reporters, and actually my godmother is a TV reporter and another one is a news editor. So I always wanted to work in the media. And then when I went into college, I had my bachelor's degree in mass communications. And then I always wanted to really work for different kinds of media. So I did TV, radio, newspaper, magazine. And then I ventured into doing marketing. And then I loved it so much, and I wanted to look for something that will match both.
Okay.
And luckily, after a few years, I stumbled upon When in Manila. I was just a contributor, and then after a few years, when it started expanding and formalized as a business, I came in and helped everything out, and I think sort things out to help in expanding it, doing business, and that's it.
I mean, you've been there for how long na? Mga 10 years.
10 years,
I mean,
yes.
It just goes to show when the shoe fits. I mean,
Yes.
it seems to just, take a shape of its own. I mean, you mentioned nga kanina that When in Manila is like a one-stop shop. I mean, di ba, magazine, you have everything there. You are actually a community of writers, photographers, videographers, storytellers. You, for yourself, how important is it, or the significance of having something like this available for everybody?
I think it's super important that we will be able to put out content that people would love. And what's different about When in Manila is that we write things that we love about, and we write things in our perspective. It's unlike news or other features that it's just straightforward. We say this and that, but for us, it's always experiential, and how we think it will be loved by other people who reads it. And I think it's always super important that in the business aspect, we are trying to help small businesses as well to reach the certain audience that they want to reach.
So everything parang has its purpose. I mean, you have your audience in mind, as you mentioned also when we were speaking before we went on cam, was that you hire people and then you create whatever their strengths would be in terms of the content.
Yes, that's why it's always a little bit difficult for us, because whenever we hire, there's no specific role just yet. So we give it a little bit of time for them to try to fit in and see what their interests are. So I remember hiring someone as a writer, but we didn't know what she liked. And then after a few months, we realized that she was really good in entertainment. That's why we gave her the title of entertainment editor. So we wanted everyone to write about the things that they really love and their expertise as well.
I guess that also helps, and then you mentioned something about the content creator. Let's take it a step further. Right now, I mean, when we go online, I mean, there's just everything. I mean, everybody is actually a content creator in itself. So for you, how do you get people to gravitate towards your content and not everybody else's?
Actually, it's been, I think, it's been a struggle for me trying to think what differentiates us from other content creators, because there's so many, especially during the pandemic. There are so many other new content creators that I think some can do better than us. But I think it's also, we've been established for quite a while now. We started, I think, 2010. So we were one of the first. So that's a good thing, because we already established our name. So, and of course, we adapt. Before, especially this era of TikTok, we were thinking, oh my God, it's not for us because it's for the younger
That's it.
generation. But I realized that you really have to adapt or you will be left out. So whenever there's new trending things, platforms, or other things to explore, to be able to expand, we always try to get into that and learn from other content creators who was younger than us because they know more, because they was born in this digital era. So we try to study everything. We try to partner with these platforms as well so we can learn the ins and outs of it. So we have partnered with Facebook, with TikTok, with Instagram to learn more about it and how we can utilize it for men in
I mean,
Manila.
10 years in the business, you have definitely gained an audience. You are continuously expanding, growing. I mean, well, it seems that you have created your own niche and whatnot when people want to find out what's actually happening in Manila. But for yourself, I mean, that's a lot on your plate. You're a wife, I mean, a mom, and then you have all this to contend with. Tell me a little bit about your secret on how you balance all of this personal and,
It's
work.
so funny because everyone asks me how I do all of these things together because I don't actually know. Sometimes I just wing it. But I think for work, I really have to set boundaries on when I start work, when I end work. Because usually if you're online, it's like you're on call 24/7, right? So I have to set boundaries for work, but I always have to be intentional also in spending time with my family because at the end of the day, I'm doing all of this for my family, right? So I have to be intentional on when I spend time with them or if I have to really stop working and look after my child because we work from home. So I'm always at home and she knows when I'm working. And sometimes
Well, lucky her that they have you, mommy, at home to always, take care of them. And if they want to find out what's actually happening in Manila, let's just go to mom. I mean, she actually knows what's happening. Thank you, Sky, for
thank you
joining
so
us. We
much.
know that you are so busy, but thank you for joining us here on New Day.
thank you so much.